joy, I've had it all, had it all. Can I tell you my story? All this is mine. As I tell you my story.
Welcome to the EN Show, and today I am super excited because on set we have Rose Mambo, and if you've been listening to Zim Gospel, you will know who this woman is. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks, and you, and thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. So as you can see, I've been plugging Nema Pare in because that's in the chedu. So and I'm almost tempted to say tete, so I'm gonna try and the lines are very blurred today. But you know, Rose, I'm so excited because you've got this song that you released last year called Nzira Yang. And you know, I want to say Yedu, but it's not Yedu, and I think there's something wrong with me because when I listen to the lyrics, I almost feel like Nzira Yedu and not necessarily Yangu, being personal. But the song is Nzira Yangu. Talk to me about this song that has just blown the airwaves.
Okay, first of all, Nzira Yangu was released on radio in June. I think it was on the 28th of June. But its official video was released on my birthday, on the 11th of October.
Wow.
Yes, that's when it went online on YouTube and also on other digital platforms such as Apple Music, Spotify, and so forth. So it's still okay to call the song Nzira Yedu because when you're writing a song as an artist, you are talking to yourself, and the idea is for you to then like spread out the gospel of what you would have been talking to yourself about to other people so that they also relate. So kana yako buda yako enda kuneva mwevano. It's no longer about me. It's about other people who are actually going to benefit from that song.
Right.
So it's still okay to call it Nzira Yedu.
Well, we want people to download this song, okay? So let's get it right. Nzira Yangu.
Yes.
And it's on all those super platforms. But, you know, I listened to it and then I saw the video. And I was like, wow, I've seen so much growth in your music journey. I mean, I remember the times when you used to send us WhatsApp messages to say, go and vote, go and vote.
You know what?
And your brother and I used to be like, but Tete is sending us these messages. Like, what's up with that? And then we
every Sunday.
Every Sunday. So he would get a message, and then I would get a message, and we'd be like, no, we know what to do. As Nima Paris, we knew what to do.
And thank you for voting.
Yes, because it's gotten us to this point where you actually do not have to send a message out there because a lot of people have resonated with your music and have grown with your music over the period. Yeah. But there's something special about this video. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? When you created the video and the storyline, I saw a lot of different genres. I saw a lot of different experimental things that you were doing. Who writes your scripting for your videos? Is that you who does that? Is that you personally who is in charge of that?
Yes, I'm in charge of the scripting of my songs. I do ask for assistance here and there. I have people who actually help me out. But on this particular one, I came up with the script, and I'm sure you've noticed that there's Ana Mama Veruadzano.
Yes.
Yes, in that video. I grew up going to United Methodist Church.
Right.
Yes, so as a way of saying thank you to Ana Mama for bringing me up the way you have brought me up, I just decided to just feature them in that video to just show people out there to say, yes, in as much as we're going to, like, say, maybe conventional churches now, but there are churches, the traditional churches that actually brought us up, that actually made us to be who we are now, and I felt I had to pay tribute to them. So you would find that I also stayed Ana Mama in that video, and I tried to come up with some other like a modern like ways of actually coming up with the videos, because I watch a lot of Trace,
right,
Africa, and
you get ideas.
Yes,
from
I
there.
get ideas from there, And I also tried to create my own as well. So there was just a variety of things just going on in that video.
But
Yeah.
let me tell you what I got from that video, and it was so clear for me. Maybe it was subconscious when you were doing it, but I had such a clarity in that I saw the different phases of Rose Mambo. So I saw her in church with your uniform, and then I was like, wow, it was like, and these women were celebrating with you. So I saw, okay, this is one side of her. Then I saw the soulfulness of who you were with the big, sunflower. I thought that was so gorgeous. And then I was like, no, man, this woman is like, she's morphed into something else. And then I saw you dancing. And in a lot of your videos, I don't think I've seen you dance as much as you danced in this one. But this one was
I'm
really,
evolving.
yeah. And I could see you enjoy yourself more. So this is why I kind of resonate to say you've really moved into a different level of singing, even the video creation. But what is it that where is it that you want to be? Because we see you progress, but what's the ultimate for you?
You know, it's actually very difficult to say. I would want to get to point C or point D or point F, because the moment like you raise a bar, you still want to do more.
Right.
But I would say I would still want to grow my brand. I would still want to increase my visibility. I would still want to create more music and have like better visuals as I'll be evolving, as I'll be improving, just improve on everything that I'll be doing. And obviously more collaborations, because I'm actually known as the queen of collabos.
Yes. Yeah, and rightfully so, but we're going to take a break. And when we come back, I want to know where this all started, because did you just wake up and start singing? And if so, how did the family receive that, growing up? But this is the EN Show. I'm with Rose Mambo, and we are talking all about music. So don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the EN Show, and I am with Rose Mambo. So, the question that I had for you was, when you were growing up, is that when you started singing? When was your first realization that this is something that you seriously wanted to pursue?
As a young girl, I think I was passionate about music. I was in choirs at as early as primary school.
Wow.
I remember I was in the junior choir. I was also in the senior choir. And around Form 3, I actually wanted to record. I felt it in me that I really was going to be an artist. So what I then did was to write to this group called Matonto. It was just producing hits then. And it had lots of airplay on radio. It was actually breaking the airwaves every day. And, we used to know this group called Matonto in Bulawayo. So I wrote a letter to them. I actually took their address from their interviews. I listened to their interview when they were being interviewed on Radio 2 then. So I took note of their address. I then wrote to them and said to them, I'm a young girl, aged, I think I was 15 around that time. My name is Rose Mambo, and I'm interested in recording, and I would love to record with you.
Wow.
So I always talk about that story in all the interviews that I've been to. And then I waited for the response. Like each time the postman would like come to drop a letter in those boxes,
Yeah.
I would be hoping it's a response from Matonto, and it never came.
Oh.
Matonto, wherever you are, I need my response,
Matonto,
please.
please write to this woman.
We need to do a collabo.
And isn't that the genre? Well, I'm not sure, but is that the genre of Love Moma Jaivana Busimube? Is that on the other side of music?
Well, it was closer, but they would sing in Ndebele, and it was this fresh sound that I used to like.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, and it was like sort of like skewed towards South African music.
Okay.
Yes, so I waited for my response, and it didn't come, but I didn't give up. I would write my songs. I remember I had this book where I would write songs, some that I never got to release. And I would even go as far as Amakosi Theatre to actually like just get a glimpse of their performances, the artists that they would have.
Yeah.
Like each time they would announce that they had shows, those that were actually like organized by their leader, the late Conti Mhlanga, and may his soul rest in peace.
Yes.
So like groups such as Amakosi, I think, though I never got to be part of them.
But they were an inspiration
Yes,
to so
they
many.
were. They were, and especially to me. Yeah, so that's how it all started. But in terms of actually recording something, I think I came up with a demo when I was now at university.
Okay.
Yes, somewhere around 2000, the year 2000. That's when I came up with a demo. I recorded a demo with Clive Monomukundu. I took the demo we used to have those grammars and ZMC where you would take a sample of what you are capable of doing. They would have executive producers, and producers would like listen to your piece of work. And then if they feel you had what it takes for them to like rope you in and give you that contract, they'll then contact you. So I took my demo there. It had lots of comments. They were constructive though, to say you need to improve on A, B, C, D. Yeah,
Feedback is always great.
Yeah,
though.
it's always great, but I was a bit disappointed. But still, I didn't give up.
Right.
Yeah. So I then said to myself, let me just go straight to the studio and see how it's gonna pan out. So the year 2002, 2003, I just told myself I'm gonna record an album. I wrote 8 songs, and then I recorded a song, an album called Kufambana Jesu. That was the first song to be played on radio. I worked with the likes of Mishek Mahendere, the brother to our great Minister Mahendere. And Minister Mahendere was also there. He actually played the drums, and his brother Mishek Mahendere played the lead guitar and the bass guitar. And I also had Jonathan Mgazi on the keyboards. He was actually so good at that. He was the best keyboardist then.
So you had the best of the best.
Yes, I had the best of the best. And the album was produced by Jabulani Ndlovu. He was also a very big producer. He was the executive producer, and then Mishek Mahendere was then the other producer. So I released that album, and we still had a very few radio stations then, but still I managed to have it played on, I think, Radio Zimbabwe, Radio 2 then.
But tell me the first time when you heard your song, because I mean, there's a lot of labor of love that goes into creating a song, right? And when you create it and then you listen to radio play it, what was that moment like for you? Because I mean, that must have been an aha moment where you're like, wow, my song is actually on the radio, guys.
Yes, it was, because before I had my own song playing on radio, when we would listen to like other established artists like songs playing, you'd think they come from another planet,
right?
They're just perfect, and they are just not like me.
Yeah,
there's just something that is so extraordinary about them. So when I got to have my own song playing on radio, I was like, wow, is that me? And unotomboita time here kuti awubve paradhiyo hoping it's in the next hour it's gonna play again. Yeah, so that was the feeling, and it actually went on for years. It's only now when I'm actually used to saying my songs can play anytime.
Wow.
Yeah.
And throughout this whole journey, your parents and your family, were they supportive? to you singing? Or were people like, you know what, Rose, this is not your thing. This is your passion. It sounds good. It sounds great. But we're going to come back and we're going to ask you to answer this question. But a lot of families, I find, it's either when they're cheerleaders, they help you to accelerate really fast. And then for those who don't necessarily believe in you, it's either unaita shungu, kana kuti, you're like, this person, maybe I'm not that good enough. But we're going to take a break, and then when we come back, I'd love to hear about family and how they've supported you. Okay. This is the EN Show. I'm with Rose Mambo, and we are talking all about music. Don't go away. Welcome back to EN. So it's all about family, like I was saying. Mm-hmm. How was your family? Were they supportive?
Like initially, when I was still trying to get established and just find myself and position myself in the music industry. Remember, it was way back, and when I was still at high school. For them, it didn't make sense then. Because they'll be like, Itachkoro, you remember you're about to write your O's and you're actually supposed to be concentrating on school.
And at the time, there weren't a lot of people who were successful in music. I mean, to give them credit, right? So they didn't have anyone to kind of say, this person has done it, so maybe you can do it too.
That's correct.
Right.
Yeah, so like as time went on, as I continued to release my music, and also like coming up with visuals that would like air on ZTV and now on Trace. They are always like, taona nzira yangu iri kurira izvozvizvi, takuona pa TV. And it's something that they're actually like proud of.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so have you ever been tempted to put in the Nema Pare back in? Because you're known as Rose Mambo. But on some of your platforms, you're known as Rose Nema Pare Mambo. So which name do you push for more?
I'm pushing for Rose Mambo because when I started singing, when I released my first album, I was still Rose Nema Pare. So I carried the double barrel for some time for people to remember me, like even those that I grew up with.
And to transition
into
Mambo.
Transition smoothly.
Got it.
Yes, but otherwise, my brand is Rose Mambo.
Yes.
Yes.
And so my daughter, every time she sings, everyone in the Nema Pare family says, Unaimpa tete wako Rose.
That's good.
So I think it's in the bloodline.
Yeah, she should join her tete.
Yeah, obviously. So you have a very big follower base on social
Facebook,
media.
Yeah.
And how do you manage that? Because you're also, a very senior person. You, in your day job, you are the Secretary General, yes. Of NEC. And so you're managing NEC. You've got over 200,000 followers on your Facebook platform. You are releasing music. You're a mom, you're a wife, and a Man U supporter. As much as I see you struggle with Man U always on social media. But how do you juggle all of that? Like, where does Rose Mambo...
And a half marathon runner.
Oh my gosh, I totally forgot that. You run marathons. And so where do you get time for Rose Mambo?
I think to answer that question, all those aspects, they actually constitute what Rose Mambo is. Without my music, without gym, without the running lately, I wouldn't be Rose Mambo, because I believe for me to be Rose Mambo, I need all those aspects. I need to fulfill the passion. I need the fitness for my mental health, for my physique, for my everything. Though balancing is not always easy. So normally what happens when you're trying to push for something at that particular point in time, there are some things that temporarily suffer because it's not like every day that you get to record a song. Because lately I think I've been recording maybe once or twice a year and having to come up with visuals once or twice a year. So it's only around the time when I set myself to record and then shoot a video, when I put certain things in abeyance to say, maybe let me put on hold the thesis. I'm also doing a PhD, by the way,
Wow.
a PhD in peace, leadership, and governance with Africa University. So there are moments for everything. If the supervisor is saying, I need to see your chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3.
You have to produce it.
You have to produce it, and when there's an interview that you're actually being invited for, you say, can't we do it in 2 weeks? So that's how you just get to juggle everything. It never gets to balance, but you just have to find a way.
And so to a young girl or to a young man who's listening and watching, you know, what words of inspiration do you have to share on your journey? Because looking back, you've really worked hard. You've been a tenacious individual to accomplish, even in your own in your professional life, the level that you have reached. What has been that thing that has egged you on to make sure that you've reached your full potential?
I think perseverance and patience. It just didn't happen like that. I'm sure you've heard from my story where I would take my music to Grandma's ZMC and they would say, no, this doesn't meet our standards. I could have given up then. But I told myself, fine, let me take their constructive criticism, whatever it was, and just try to build something from there. So I think it took a lot of patience for me to be where I am and for me to still go where I intend to be, and that perseverance, because you always have like people who are actually there to pull you down. You always have toxic people around you. You always have negative energy around you.
Yeah.
So it actually takes a lot of resilience and that strength for you to rise above like the toxicity and even the negativity around you, to say, I'm focused, I want to achieve this, and I'm going to do so. Yeah.
And so you've conquered Zimbabwe clearly, Rose Mambo. And so what's next? You're on trace. Is it South Africa that you want to conquer? Is it Africa that you want to conquer? Is it global that you want to conquer? Where is it that you want to see yourself in the next 10 years?
More collaborations, and even with artists outside Zimbabwe, like targeting those big amapiano producers like Master KG. You know, I've this thing for house music. I've this thing for amapiano. Targeting like Nomcebo Zekode, the Jerusalem hitmaker.
Yeah.
I wish to actually collaborate with her one day.
Wow.
And I just pray it's gonna be possible. And even in Africa, just doing those collaborations. I've worked with Japreza, and 4 years ago, I wouldn't have imagined myself like sitting down with Japreza, writing a song, being in the same studio, recording a song, having him like directing what has to be done.
And so giving you that attention.
Yes, everything is achievable. Anything is achievable.
Wow.
Yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it on EN. Anything is achievable. Rose Mambo, my tete, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you again for having me.
Clearly, we can go on and on. But for those who want to catch up more on Rose Mambo, please click onto our YouTube platform. And we are going into EN Extra. But from us to you, thank you so much for joining us on set. And we will definitely be we will be following you as you go and as you grow your brand over the next couple of years. But we're so proud of you. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for the support.
This is EN Show. And as always, we are sending love and light your way. Hi guys, welcome to EN Extra, and I'm with Rose Mambo. So, yeah, you were talking about adult education, And I was telling you when we had the break, I'm scared of going back to school. And I honestly, when people who are above a certain age go back, make the decision to go back to school, much respect for you guys. Because when you're doing their assignments, abana kuti, hey, I've got a cushy job there, Dodon's boss. You're not a boss there. How has it been for you?
It has been tough. But I'm that strong person and that goal-getter.
Yeah.
Anongoti, I'm gonna achieve this. Chirema say. But it hasn't been easy.
Yeah.
Like right now I'm at a stage where I'm doing my thesis, where you can actually like go for 30, 40 pages and you'll be thinking you're on the right track. The moment you send it to your supervisors, you're told, no, you haven't done anything. This is rubbish, go and start afresh. So it still takes that patience, that resilience.
It's humbling.
Yeah, it is.
It's humbling. So I feel like you're wanting to conquer a lot. So you're conquering music, you're conquering,
marathons.
Marathons. I saw you in South Africa. I was like, this woman is crazy. You did 2 oceans.
I did 2 oceans in April.
Right.
So then there's this race in South Africa. It's actually popular. It's called Soweto, the Soweto Marathon.
Okay.
So it's known for the rough terrain, the very difficult terrain, and it's known for the harsh climatic conditions and all. And they always say for you to conquer the Soweto Marathon, you actually need to be very strong.
Right.
I'm not yet there in terms of my speed and even like the strength in running in tackling my marathons. But I told myself I'm gonna go there.
Wow.
I'm gonna do my 21 kilometers. I went there, I came back with my medal. It wasn't easy. It was so hot. And even those mountains, I remember when I got to the 12th kilometer, it was now at a point where you'll be going up and up and up and up and up. It wasn't easy, but I would still tell myself I'll go back home with the medal.
Yeah.
And I did.
And I think that's the tenacity that you have in all areas of your life. Because if you look at music, that's where you are. I mean, and you were talking about your experience with Jabreza. When I saw that you had collaborated with him, I was like, okay, so then what's next? Because she's literally collaborated with all the best of the best in Zim.
Queen of collabos.
Queen of collabos. But it is such it's your passion, and that's wonderful. But so how do you manage being a mom?
I create time for my 2 children. I have 2 children. Nyasha is 22. And Anesu, Nyasha is a girl. And Anesu turned 18. So I do have time for them.
First of all, you don't even look like you have a 22-year-old. I'm just saying.
Thank you.
You don't look like you have a 22-year-old. But yes, you were saying you create a lot of time with them.
Maybe it's the marathons.
Maybe
I should actually evolve to running a full marathon, which is the 42 Ks.
And so,
but I intend to try it out this year in 2024.
Wow.
It's actually like on my resolutions to say I need to try out a full marathon. So I just pray it's gonna happen.
I'm scared to even ask if you've got a bucket list, because your bucket list must have space or something in it. I don't know.
So going back to Yasha and Anesu, yes, I do have time for them. During holidays, I take them with me when I go for my runs.
Yeah.
They are there to cheer me on. Yes, so they are my biggest fans. I take them to the studio when they are not at school. We watch Netflix together. We cook together, and I go out with them.
You bond.
Yeah. Yes, we bond.
And so, whilst we wrap up, in extra, I'm going to talk about something very painful. Man United.
Manchester United is
Manchester,
actually becoming a
beloved team. Your brother used to love Man United all the time, and I used to always say to people, I'm married to a Man United fan. So I'm not necessarily a soccer fan, but I'm married to one. But yeah, Man U, when I see you get so emotional when they don't win, Is that real or is that for social media? Like emotionally, are you like?
It's actually real. Do you know,
Really?
there are times when I actually avoid like those like evening or late night matches because ndototadza uraramusha. Like I wanted to talk about last night. I'm forgetting it's 2024.
But it's okay.
Rectify that.
We can pick up. So
Okay.
so you're not even able to sleep when you are watching a match if it's late at night and they lose.
Well,
'Cause why?
it's especially those matches where Man U will be playing with a stronger team. I would actually like have predetermined the outcome. And I'll tell
it's
myself,
stress.
stress. So that's what normally happens.
And this is why I don't want to watch soccer. But thank you so much, Auntie Rose, for coming through. It's been a pleasure to have you on EN Extra, and we hope to have you back in studio when we're talking about you conquering Africa awards and etc. So thank you for coming on the EN show.
Thank you once again for having me.
It's been awesome. Thank you everyone for joining, and please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. We'll see you soon. Sending love and light your way.